who founded Wellness Pet? Where do we source our ingredients, and are they all sustainably sourced? How do your core digestive health foods differ from your Wellness Complete Health line?
We asked pet parents, what flavor does your pet prefer between chicken versus turkey, salmon versus tuna, beef versus lamb? What do you think people?
Oh, they're so close. Hi, it's Dr. Danielle Bernal, veterinarian at the Wellness Pet Company. Now, I'm here today to answer lots of great questions that have come in from Wren's Pet customers. So I have my board here. Let's have a look through and work through the list. The first question is, who founded Wellness Pet? Now, this is a great one. In fact, Wellness Pet Company was created back in 1926 here in Gloucester, Massachusetts. Now, it was originally a human bakery company that was based on the seaport and thus seeing an awful lot of sea dogs come in with the fishermen. One day they realised that, hey, I'm going to throw one of these biscuits to the dogs, and the rest was basically history. In that next almost 100 years, we've then expanded our brand portfolio to include Holistic Select, Eagle Pack, brands that were very much about natural way back in the 70s and 80s. Then, of course, the flagship brand was created, which was Wellness. And since then, we've further expanded with Whimsies and Sojos. So as you can see, we're a company of almost 100 years entirely committed to scientifically proven natural nutrition to truly fulfill a lifetime of well-being together with our pets. All right, next question. What makes Wellness different from other brands? You know, I think there are so many brands out there today. So this is a great question, because if you walk into any store, it's almost bamboozling as to which brand should you pick and why. When it comes to wellness, at the heart of all we do is really about ensuring dogs and cats have a lifetime of well-being. For us, what that means is always crafting nutrition the right way and never the easy way. So we use the finest quality natural ingredients you can recognize, read, and ingredients that you would want to be feeding your pet. Then what we do is we work with our internal animal nutritionists, veterinarians, and food scientists, and of course animal lovers, to ensure that we craft every recipe to include all the key health, scientifically proven inclusions that will promote optimal well-being. By that, I mean omega fatty acids, for example, for skin and coat, glucosamine and chondroitin sulfate for joint health, antioxidants and vitamins and minerals for immunity. All of those extra inclusions are what we actually call the 5 signs of well-being. And that's our guarantee that every pet parent will see when they feed it to their pet. Where do we source our ingredients, and are they all sustainably sourced? This is a fabulous question, because we're seeing this demand really come really strong from all pet parents wanting to know where ingredients are coming from for what they're putting in their pet's bowl. Here at the Wellness Pet Company, our approach is to predominantly source our ingredients here from North America, so combinations of both the US and Canada. But what we claim with our recipes is that we actually use the finest quality globally sourced ingredients. And why we've expanded it to talk globally is we know there's certain ingredients that we simply can get better quality from in different markets. An example here is we use New Zealand and Australian lamb, and that's obviously brought into our manufacturing facility. Another example is we use rabbits from Italy, which are brought in. So it's about making sure we always uphold the highest quality and make sure we work with suppliers who are focused also on that sustainability. Now, sustainability for us is not just about sourcing our ingredients. We also are now looking at creating more pet foods, for instance, that are going to be more plant-based. We just launched one of those out, making sure that we're giving pet parents more sustainable options. So that's another focus for us, as is always looking to make sure that our packaging, our manufacturing facilities, and our overall environmental footprint is continually being monitored and reduced so that we can do the right thing, not only for dogs and cats, but most importantly, the environment as well. Okay, next question. How do your core digestive health foods differ from your Wellness Complete Health line? This is a fabulous question. Now, Wellness Core Digestive Health is one of our newest line extensions to the core portfolio. And what that sub brand is all about is promoting the ultimate health for our dogs and cats, but starting from within. Inside a dog or cat's digestive system are in fact trillions of microorganisms made up of bacteria, viruses, and fungi. And what these microorganisms do is they can really influence the overall health of our dogs and cats. With classic examples being when they're out of balance, well, that's when you may be seeing more digestive upsets in your pet. And when they're in perfect balance, well, here that microbiome really supports the immune health because 60% of the immune system is located in the gastrointestinal tract. They really support the skin and coat health so that dogs and cats can look their very best. And then most importantly, they really optimize digestive health so that the dog or cat can get all that goodness out of their food into their system so that they're always at their best. And of course, a pet parent therefore sees regular, firm and healthy stools. So this is a way of really picking and choosing what suits your dog or cat best. If you're looking for great everyday nutrition, well, that's going to be Wellness Core Digestive Health. If you're thinking, you know what, I really want to focus on my gut's microbiome because I'm having more probiotic yogurts, I'm drinking kombucha, I understand, I want more dietary fibers in my diet, and I want the same for my dog or cat, well, that's where Core Digestive Health might be the best solution for you. All right, and our last question is, what is your favorite wellness product? Well, there are so many here that I could pick from. In the dry portfolio, I'm a big fan of our fish recipes. So, for example, Wellness Complete Health Whitefish, our core ocean diets, and they're available in both dogs and cats. And why I love those recipes is they're often poultry-free, but they're rich and abundant in high-quality fish proteins such as whitefish, salmon, and tuna. And what those ingredients are going to do is really deliver great levels of omega-3 fatty acids, as well as high protein from a lean source. What that means is it's going to be a recipe that all dogs love and cats because of that great fishy flavour, but it's also a recipe that truly helps fuel their muscle health and give their skin and coat that extra boost so they truly have a lustrous skin and coat, which is what we all want at the end of the day to make our pets look beautiful.
We also surveyed select Ren's Pets customers for their pet food preferences. So today we're going to be playing a game to see if you can guess what people prefer between a few choices that we have here. So the first question that we asked our customers, what do they feed their pet? Do they feed them canned pet food versus dry pet food versus both? So can you guess what the majority of people feed their pet food between these three options?
I would say the majority feed dry food, but I kind of want to also put a foot in the camp of both, but I'm going to stick with the majority feed dry.
Yeah, you got it right. 44.2% of our customers surveyed said that they feed dry pet food.
Well, it's really the best way to give dogs and cats nutrient-dense nutrition, as well as all the scientifically included benefits, such as we talked as joint nutrients, antioxidants, prebiotics, probiotics. The other great thing about dry food is it's so easy to give to our pets as well. It's simply scoop and serve, and it gives them that delicious, tasty meal.
What should people be feeding their pets? Wet food, raw food, dry food, and why?
This one is truly a case of so many different answers for every single pet. And what we're seeing now with a lot of pet parents is people are in essence starting to supercharge their kibble. So they've got that foundation of kibble, almost up to 70-80% of nutrition. Then what they're doing is to get variety, to get mealtime joy, or really elevate that feeding experience, they're putting things on top. And that could be a bowl booster for a high protein benefit. That could be a functional topper. That could just be wet food as well to really support hydration as importantly. So the most important thing, I suppose, in essence, is that there's no one size fits all for every dog and cat. It's really about what life stage are they in, their lifestyle, their overall health and well-being. Do they have any underlying concerns that you're trying to address with nutrition? And then finding a premium, scientifically proven brand that regardless of what recipe you select, they're all going to ensure that ultimate health for the pet. So that would be my recommendation, more so than sticking to a strict mantra of you must feed this much of that one and that much of this one.
We asked pet parents, what flavor does your pet prefer between chicken versus turkey? What do you think people
Oh, they're so close. If you were going to say chicken and fish, I was ready with my answer.
respond?
I would say here the majority of pet parents still pick chicken. Am I right?
Yeah, you're right.
Whew. It's often the number one selling flavor when you look at a company's portfolio. So it's one that pet parents are really comfortable with. It's a great source of protein, and obviously it's a delicious flavor as well.
The next question that we asked is if pet parents' pets preferred beef versus lamb. How do you think people responded?
Oh, I'm a big fan of lamb, but that may be the Australian in me. I'm going to stick with it just for my, if nothing else, my own national pride. And I also don't think there's too many beef recipes out there. Definitely for wet there is, but I'm going to go with lamb overall. But I'm feeling cautious.
Yeah, this one was beef, but this is just Ren's Pets customers, and just a select few of them, not everyone. But yeah, they went 69% beef and 31% lamb.
And as I said, you'll often see a lot more of those beef recipes in the boosters and the wet food. And for that, they're fantastic because red meats give that great protein boost, lots of good healthy iron, and really deliver some great benefits as well as that tasty meal. So great to hear pet parents are feeding those beef recipes.
Talking a bit more about that, can you tell me more about the Raw Rev line?
Yeah, so this is one of my absolute favorites, and I should have mentioned it earlier on. Raw Rev is what we do. It's our Wellness Core portfolio, which is our ultimate flagship brand. And this is the brand where we take our protein-rich, proven nutrition kibble, which has got high protein, moderate fats, lowered carbohydrates, and then pretty much every bell and whistle we can put in there from health and well-being standpoint. But then what we do is we mix that with a 100% piece of meat that's simply freeze dried. So we take a piece of meat, we dice it up, we put it into our freeze dryer, bring it out, and then that gives us these nice cubes of frozen meat, oh, not frozen, freeze dried meat. So it's in essence, it's raw. What we then do is evenly distribute it through that bag. We've got a special machine so that when you actually open a bag of core raw rev and scoop it, you will always see bits of that freeze-dried meat in amongst the kibble. If you've got a dog who is a little bit more fussy, or a dog where you just want to see them almost in drool-worthy state of mind when you go for that pet food bag, then Core Raw Rev is the perfect go-to because that piece of raw meat, which is nicely freeze-dried and of course safe because it goes through pressure processing, what happens is it rubs up against that kibble from the moment it leaves our manufacturing facility onto the truck, out to Ren's pet stores, and then of course into the store, and then into the customer's car, and then of course home to the bowl. During all those methods, that meat is rubbing up against the kibble. It's releasing the aromas. And why that's so important is for dogs and cats, when we talk about palatability, it's really down to the smell of the food. Dogs and cats have about 6 times more smelling cells in their nose than what we do, and they only have 17% of the taste buds we do. So when it comes to how much they savor or are enthused about eating a food, it really comes down to the smell. So when you open that bag of raw rev, that pure pieces of meat evenly dispersed through the bag releases the most crave-worthy taste or palatability that then sees dogs really salivating for this food. So I love it because, again, it elevates that mealtime experience. But I also love it because when I feed it to my dogs, and here, this is where I pick the Core Raw Rev Ocean, they look fantastic. It's great quality protein, pure pieces of meat, and really those proven health inclusions that make sure that every dog eating these foods not only have empty bowls, but really look their very best.
Since you were just talking about Raw Rev Ocean, our next question that we ask customers is if their pet preferred salmon versus tuna. So, how do you think people responded there?
I'm going to say salmon here.
Yep, this is 72.9% of people said that their pet preferred salmon.
Perfect. And it's a great ingredient. It's of all the fish-based sources that are really rich in omega-3 fatty acids, salmon's one of the best. It's also an ingredient we really recognize with high quality nutrition. And if you've got a young puppy or kitten, it's a great source of an ingredient, which is another fatty acid called DHA or docosahexaenoic acid, if you're feeling really clever. And what that one does is it's a nutrient from salmon oils, especially, that can help boost the brain development and cognition and nerve function in our dogs and cats as they're puppies. So again, great ingredients. Fabulous to hear that many pet parents are feeding it, because that's going to lead to fabulous looking pets, but also smarter, more trainable puppies and kittens if they're feeding it to their young ones.
Our final question that we ask people is what kinds of treats do your pets like best? Do they prefer a soft treat or a crunchy or hard treat?
So I'm one of those pet parents where if you open my cupboard, there's going to be about 5 or 6 different treats in there. So my treating philosophy is that there's treats for different purposes. So every single day, my dogs will be getting a Whimsy's dental treat. 80% of dogs here have dental disease. So we need to look after their teeth the same as we do ourselves, which means daily care. So I give them a Whimsy's once a day. Then what I do is I do have soft treats, which here I use the wellness treats, the well bites. These are fantastic because I can rip them, shred them, tear them. So I use them a lot for training and rewarding. They're also fabulous if I want to have what I call a high value reward, where I'm on a Zoom call and they're over there. And then this way I can stuff it into a puzzle ball, and that really keeps them engaged for quite a while. And then if we're out walking, this is where I love to use those more lower calorie, I suppose, baked treats. And this is where I think of old Mother Hubbard. And these are great because often if I'm walking, I can throw them in my pocket without getting any of that greasy residue. I know they're low calorie, so I can give them more of them. And that crunch is also going to help their dental health. So I don't think I picked a favorite there, but I think most pet parents would agree they don't just use one treat. They really have that repertoire and they use them for different occasions. So hopefully everyone else is agreeing to that as well.
Yeah, this was a pretty even split. We've got 53.5% of people just edged out with soft treats.
Yep.
But it was interesting to see that there was a pretty even split between those.
And we love to treat, and especially, I think it's 98% of pet parents treat their pet every single day. So we're definitely showing the love in those nice, tasty rewards for our pets.
Yeah, and another fun question that came in from a customer is, do wellness soft puppy bites come in larger bags?
So great news here. Those wellness puppy bites are actually the #1 performing treat product, usually across all of North America. So they are a hot item, no doubt. So we heard everyone loud and clear. And we've made our packs from the 3 ounce now up to the 8 ounce. So forgive me, I can't remember exactly what that is in grams, but you've taken our basic size that we had before and we've doubled it and then some. So those are available now to make sure that you've got those great rewards available in a bigger size.
Yeah, awesome. Great. It sounds like that person asked that question at just the right time.
They did. We heard you loud and clear and we actioned it.
So that is actually it. That's all I have for you today.
Awesome.
Was there anything that you wanted to add to any of these questions or just any final thoughts that you had?
Yeah, my only final thought would be for those cat parents. Remember, if you haven't tried wellness before, I would highly recommend it. And when we look to our wet recipes, especially at the moment, I know supply challenges are happening left, right, and centre, but we've been able to maintain great levels of supply up in Canada. And this is really about delivering then great tasty meals for cats. And it's a great way of trying it if you haven't tried it before. So remember, 9 out of 10 cats love the taste of wellness. We call it a catisfaction guarantee. And most importantly, when you do try it for the first time, you'll start to see those 5 signs of well-being, which is what wellness is all about. And the one comment I'd build on that is we just need to make sure we're not overfeeding them. So always follow those feeding guidelines, because what we're seeing now is 60% almost of our dogs and cats are shifting into that overweight and obese category. And at the end of the day, that's probably coming from us giving them a little bit too much when it comes to their good quality nutrition. So keep an eye on those feeding amounts, and then that way you can ensure they're not only healthy and happy, but they're also nice and lean and trim at the same time.
Thanks so much for watching our vendor video with Wellness Pet. And thanks to Dr. Danielle Bernal for speaking with us. Throughout the video, you may have noticed this symbol along with a word pop up in the lower left-hand corner. Putting all these words together forms a question that you can answer in the comments below in order to be entered to win this amazing wellness prize pack. So comment the answer below and you'll be entered to win. Thanks again for watching. Bye!